Hey guys, before you get started on today's lesson, I want to recap a few things from yesterday that I noticed while you were working, along with some notes that I want to add to your notebook. So I'm going to adjust my camera so you can see my piece of paper here. So give me 1 second to do that. Okay, so I have a graph here that, let me turn it. I have a graph here that one of our groups used yesterday. I have a graph here that came from one of our groups yesterday during our function investigation, and I'm going to use that as my example. So as a title in your notes, I'm going to write elements of a complete description. Of a function. I have some tape there, so it's kind of hard to see. Okay, so yesterday it seemed like people were a little confused at what we meant by complete. Some people saw this and they said, oh, that's just half a circle. That's not complete. Okay, that's not what we mean by a complete function. We want to think of a complete description of a function. So this would be complete because my x and my y axes are labeled by using x and y. I've got a sketch here that has specific points. And some of those specific points are my x-intercepts. I can see here they're at -10, 0 and +10, 0. I have y-intercepts, or just one, excuse me, y-intercept up here at 0, 10. Okay. I also have a scale on my axis, so this one goes by 5. So I'm going to put my axis scale is labeled because then I can determine what these specific points are. Okay. Another thing that I could do is I could describe this graph. I could say it is only above the y-axis, or excuse me, above the x-axis. Okay, so notice it's only here. I could say it has a maximum up at 10. Scroll this down for you. Maximum at 10. So these are all descriptors to make that complete description of a function. Okay, so kind of the overall is that we have our axis labels. So we've got x and y. We've got an appropriate scale. We have specific points that are labeled. Okay, and then we have a couple descriptions below kind of describing what this graph looks like. So if I were to tell you that you have an XY graph, so I'm going to put this to the side. So let's say, okay, I've got XY. Here's my X, here's my Y. And we know that it's going to go by 5s. We labeled, so let's say, so I could say 5, 10. Okay. A specific point is I have an x-intercept at -10, 0 and another one at +10, 0. I have a y-intercept up at 0, 10. Okay, and then I know that this is only above the x-axis and my highest point is at 10. So that would give me an idea of how to sketch this graph if I didn't have this initial picture. So basically when you are describing a function, you want to be able to give enough details so that someone could sketch it without having a picture of it. So sure enough, it matched. All right, guys, so keep these things in mind as you move forward today, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a good one.